Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Recently, I received a comment from a subscriber asking me to do a video on what he claimed was a 100% fact, that over 1,700 institutions signed contracts with Ripple, agreeing to use XRP, as outlined in court documents. This was news to me, so I asked him for a source to back up the claim. Rule number 1. Whenever anyone from the XRP community makes a claim, never take it at face value. Always ask for a source so you can check it for yourself. After taking some time to mock me for not being aware of this alleged fact, he eventually provided the source to his claim. Based on the little information he shared, it was clear to me that he was misconstruing the court documents and what they actually stated, as I'll explain. But I decided to dig into the documents myself to find out more about these 1,700 contracts and what they entailed. So let's get started. The subscriber claimed that 1,700 institutions signed contracts agreeing to use XRP, clearly misinterpreting the information from the court documents. But what the document actually said was that there were 1,700 relevant contracts in relation to XRP. However, out of those 1,700 contracts, many were related to programmatic sales and other distributions of XRP, which should be excluded from institutional sales of XRP. This alone proves there were not 1,700 institutions that signed contracts with Ripple to use XRP, which is clearly false. The court found that out of the 1,700 contracts, only 1,278 contracts were considered institutional sales contracts that violated the law, resulting in penalties. The rest were categorized as programmatic contracts, service contracts, or other contracts. I'm going to discuss more about the 1,278 XRP sales contracts. But first, let's look at the four categories of how these contracts were broken down. 1. Contracts where Ripple sold XRP directly to a counterparty, which could include institutional buyers, hedge funds, and ODL customers. These are known as institutional sales. 2. Contracts where Ripple's counterparties agreed to sell XRP on Ripple's behalf over trading platforms. These are classified as programmatic sales, where Ripple sold XRP either directly or indirectly on exchanges and trading platforms, where the buyer and seller are unknown to each other. This essentially resulted in dumping XRP on retail. 3rd, contracts where Ripple used XRP to pay for services or to compensate employees. 4. Miscellaneous contracts that didn't fit into the above categories. Now, if you look at categories 2 and 3, it's essentially XRP being dumped on the market, either by Ripple through programmatic sales or by those who received it as payment, who likely sold it for fiat, as we can't pay our bills in XRP. As for the 1,278 institutional sales contracts, we can't assume that 1,278 different institutions purchased XRP from Ripple. A single institution could have had multiple sales contracts with Ripple over the years. So, we don't know for certain how many different institutional buyers these contracts involved, except for what has been made public. Now, did all of these institutional buyers purchase XRP because they agreed to use it? Not necessarily. Some institutional sales could have been to hedge funds or crypto investment firms that bought XRP not to use, but to hold as a speculative investment in their portfolios, selling it on exchanges to take advantage of price fluctuations. Other financial institutions, like SBI Holdings or payment service providers like MoneyGram, may have purchased XRP to experiment with ODL during a trial, or to use for liquidity within ODL corridors for their cross-border payments and settlement. How XRP was used by an institutional buyer really depended on the type of buyer and their goals. Another important point to consider is that many institutional buyers were incentivized to buy XRP because Ripple sold it to them at discounted rates, below market price. Ripple apparently favored some institutional buyers over others, with some receiving a heavier discount on XRP. This fact alone raises questions about how many of these institutional buys came from companies that saw an opportunity to buy XRP at a dirt cheap price and flip it on the open market for profit, even if they had to sell it gradually as per their agreement, without caring much about the token or having any real intention to incorporate the technology meaningfully within their institution. One institution accused of this is SBI Holdings. Now, I know many of you might discredit this claim because it comes from Craig Wright, but even a liar can tell the truth at times, and I'll explain why after showing you this clip, where I think he may actually be telling the truth.
You mentioned you had a meeting with the SBI Holdings. What did they tell you?
I've had multiple meetings with Katao-san and things. I've had dinner with him and his wife. I've gone to clubs with him, as in not clubbing type clubs, but high-end private clubs. And over a still half live lobster, we discussed all of this stuff. And I said, why are you keeping this stuff? And he said, it's worth a lot to our business. And I said, why? Because we can sell it. And if we dump it all at once, it won't be worth anything.
So the guy who came up with the phrase flip the switch basically told you that the only purpose of XRP was to dump on us retail, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't actually use it. There's no purpose of it. It can't scale. It can't do the transaction limit of SWIFT. So what's the use of it? Is the bank does a trial. I hand you $50 million, you do a trial. Think about this. What rational capitalist won't take your $50 million to basically take two of their staff and sit them in a room for 6 months and not give a shit?
And what's the purpose of this trial? Because they will say it's to recruit them for the eventual use of XRP.
No. The purpose of this trial is to basically pump the price of XRP. No bank has ever implemented XRP or Ripple products in anything meaningful ever.
From that short interview clip, Craig claims Katao from SBI only holds XRP to sell it for profit and doesn't care about it or using it. His purpose is literally to dump it on retail. Now, this is where you have to use some discernment. We already know Ripple sold XRP to institutions at heavy discounts, and we know SBI holds XRP. So is it really a stretch to believe what Craig says about SBI and their motive for holding it? What made me believe Craig might be telling the truth is when I see posts like this from Katao, the CEO of SBI. In 2018, he was spreading hype about pushing a button to make XRP $10 on Twitter. These are the kinds of posts I expect from XRP influencers who hype XRP for monetary gain, not from a CEO. But then again, if he has a bag of dirt cheap XRP he wants to dump on retail, it makes sense why he'd hype it to retail for a better profit when he sells. It's not rocket science, it's free money. Meanwhile, the XRP community often cites SBI Holdings as a major partner when talking about XRP utility and adoption. The irony, I know. According to Katao, banks in Japan will adopt XRP by 2025. Well, that's just a few months away. We'll see if it's more hype or if it actually comes to fruition. I think I already know the answer. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so as to not miss my next video.